So that's how it be sometimes.
When we're on the call with the department. If not, I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Today is Friday, February 16th, and it's currently 9:38 a.m. So a little bit after 8 minutes after New York Open. So starting off with the daily bias, daily bias for US 30 bearish, daily bias for the dollar bearish, daily bias for EU bearish, and daily bias for gold bullish. Now, looking at what we have here for US 30, US 30 based off of the area we are in. Let's see. We have a test and rejection entry here. All the way up here. So this is a test and rejection entry on the 15-minute time frame. So possible test and rejection for sell. So what we would want to see here is bring to front and then do this. This would be US 30. So what we would personally want to see here for US 30 is something of this sort for this particular trade. So we'll wait on that. On the 30-minute time frame, we also have a test and rejection based off of this zone right here that was created. We have there was a nice break and continuation entry, but that happened during New York. This was a nice break and continuation entry that would have gone to full TP. Yeah. Yeah, this would have been a nice trade, break and continuation entry. But anyway, that already passed. So here we can have a test and rejection entry here. See, just a second. So this right here is a test and rejection, possible test and rejection sell. Not sure if US 30 is going to come back all the way up here, but let's see if it does. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure because we have a lot of selling pressure and you guys can hear all those MT4 noises showing that there's a bunch of liquidity in the market. So right now, US 30 is fully bearish on the 15-minute and on the 30-minute. Gold fully bearish on the 15-minute and 30-minute. EU fully bearish on the 15 and 30-minute. So we are definitely looking for sells today. So that's that for gold. We don't have any zones currently on the 15-minute and 30-minute. These zones are a little bit too big, these SAR sell zones. We also don't have any momentum sells on US 30 as well. No momentum sells on gold. This is the EU trade that hit full TP. So if you're on the live session yesterday, we took this sell on EU yesterday and it went straight to full TP. Almost got to full TP. Immediately we got in, came back for some retracement, almost got stopped out at break even during Asia session, actually London session. And then we had this meltdown earlier this morning. So we'll just delete this. and then we'll see what we have here. So EU, we just have too many zones right here. Yeah, there's too many zones, so we would have to wait for price to come back up here first. So same thing on the 30 minutes. So in any case for EU, I'd be looking for like a looking for a excuse me, momentum entry. For US 30 on the hourly entry, I was hoping we would have gotten a break and continuation setup here, but this happened so fast because we have a double SAR here. We also have a double SAR here. So nothing on the hourly that I can see. On for gold, gold, we might get this trade set up here because we have this double SAR region here. And then what we would want to see here after the hourly candle closes, we do this gold, and then we would expect something like this. And hopefully it gets to this. Let's see. Let me redo that. So this is a break and continuation sell. So possible break and continuation sell. So what we would want here is something of this sort, and then coming back down here. EU. On the hourly time frame, we have this zone right here. Hourly time frame on EU, we have so we have two break and continuation. So if you can see, this top candle did a break and continuation of this zone up here, this zone up here, and this zone up here. So during this instance, you ask yourself, so this is, we have a validation of break and continuation of this zone and this zone already because they were validated by these two huge candles. So of course, the entry would have been here, right? But of course, you always ask yourself, which is the most optimal zone? So the most optimal zone is this zone up here. This is the most optimal sell zone for EU. So not sure it's going to come up here, but this is the most optimal zone. This is another nice zone right here, but you just have to do your math or your probabilities. So to me, this would be the perfect sell on EU if I were to take it. But of course, on the other hand, because, and we need to mark that up. And actually, we also had a test and rejection here. The test and rejection would have hit full TP, if you guys can see it right there. But anyway, for me, this is the best, or not the best, the optimal trade setup. But of course, I'm also interested to see where somebody who entered the trade without caring about overextension would achieve a 1:1. So what I would want to see, I would want the trade to come and fill me in first before giving this person a 1:1 risk to reward, in which case they would be at break even. So this right here would be, so we said break and continuation. So possible break and continuation for a sell. And then we look at it that way. So that's on the hourly time frame. US 30, this is US 30 on the hourly time frame as well. So we also have a possible break and continuation here for US 30. Mark this up, US 30. Here, what I would like to see is this, and this. So you can also see we're possibly starting to create a downtrend here on the hourly for US 30. So this is also a nice confluence for a sell. But here, let's mark this up as that. And then here we do possible break and continuation sell. And we'll just update it as time goes. So that's the 1 hour time frame. That's the 1 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame. So no momentum entries as well here. On the 4 hour as well. We don't have any double SAR zone, or we don't have any SAR zones for gold as well. I don't think we have any SAR zones on the 4 hour. No, we do not. For EU, we have this zone. EU, we do have a 4 hour zone right here. But this ends at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can see we have this break and continuation. So we might have a 4 hour sell around that region. But currently, there's nothing else to look at on the 4 hour. So we'll just wait and see if we get any of these trade validations when we're on the live session. So this US 30, EU, and gold. So all these cells are lined up here on the hourly time frame. It's just a matter of being patient and seeing which one you get to see. So here, possible test and rejection. So this validated for US 30 on the 15-minute time frame. So remove the word possible. So it's an outright test and rejection entry. Of course, the trade validated down here, but you would not have entered down here because of the red flag of overextension. So you wait for price to come back up here. And then you do your markup in order to know where somebody who entered or who's in the trade, regardless of overextension, would be setting break even at. So it's at this zone right here. So you would want price to come back and fill you in first before giving this person a 1:2, a 1:1 risk to reward. At which point they would be at break even. So this is the 15-minute time frame. So we'll see what happens with US 30. Hopefully it does come back up there, but definitely US 30 is fully bearish on 15-minute and 30-minute, fully bearish. Gold fully bearish on 15-minute and 30-minute time frame. EU fully bearish on 15-minute and 30-minute time frame. EU is starting to become a little bit bearish. But what I would want to see here, I would want US 30 to get up here. So if it touches this zone, I'll be taking a sell on US 30. And looking at the markups, I know we have a 4 hour bearish order block. So if you look down here, we have this 4 hour bearish low, again, which is a high time frame order block. I think that's the only OB that's there. And we have a bunch of sell zones right here. So you can see where we want to sell from. We have huge selling pressure around here. So that's why I'm anticipating US 30 to come up, pick up liquidity, sell side liquidity from here. And then we melt to the downside. So same thing here on the 30-minute time frame. If I turn on the zones indicator, you'll see we have a bunch of selling pressure here. We still have that 4 hour bearish order block that's around that zone. So it's just a matter of patience. On gold, we don't have anything on the 15-minute and 30-minute. Same thing with EU. EU, we just have too many zones that I'm not comfortable even trying to look for any selling area for, because we'll just have too many markups on the screen. So EU, what I would want to see maybe is a momentum sell on the 15-minute and 30-minute. So nothing is standing out to me for EU right now. US 30, if we turn on the zones on the hourly time frame, we'll see we have a bunch of selling pressure where we want to enter the trade at. And if we do the markups, we still have that 4 hour bearish order block. So that's fine. That's perfect right there. Gold, if we turn on the zones indicator, the next OB or the next sell zone is all the way up here. Looking at any order blocks we may have, or we're rejecting off of that daily bullish order block, but it was already used up by this move to the upside. So gold might keep pushing down past that order block. EU on this higher time frame, looking at the markups we have, nothing really, nothing major here. Nothing major. If we look at the zones, you can see we have just heavy selling pressure where we want to sell from. We have a lot of selling pressure. So this is amazing for our EU trade if we do decide or if it does validate during the live session. So I'm feeling pretty confident for the setups we have today. So let's just see if we get any setups. If we do not get any setups, that's fine. This week has been a winning week, up 1.5% for the week. If you're using 0.75% risk per trade, if you also took losses the previous week, you should be at break even, just from the trades that I send out, which is better than being in drawdown. So we'll just wait and see how these trades play out. I think they'll validate at like 10 a.m. So that's in about 7 minutes or so. Also, oh, I forgot to look at something. I want to start looking at this breakout scanner. Let's see. This was there's something I want to try. 9:30. So we know that US 30 is fully bullish. We have a sell signal here, and this is the 9 EMA, I believe. So this would ideally be a breakout entry, but normally you'd want your stop loss to be above the previous high. But anyway, let's see how this goes. So for gold, in this instance, give me a few moments. I need to take a call. All right, sorry about that. So let's see this. So this right here, breakout, there's something I want to be testing. Like if we know something is heavily bearish, we can be catching that breakout. But the only thing is you would have to be waiting for New York Open. I need to backtest this and see. Actually, for this one, we would only have to forward test. See, this is gold. Of course, you wouldn't do that. You would want to wait for 9 EMA retracement. Yes, 30. See. Normally you would want retracement to the 9 EMA. This is the breakout indicator. But I'm trying to look at if we know that an instrument is heavily bearish on a time frame, then you'd want to catch that direction for the breakout. But normally you'd want to wait for the retracement to the 9 EMA, which is the yellow line here, or the 50 EMA, which is the blue line here. So I'm thinking maybe the 50 EMA might be better. But anyway, this is just something we'll be forward testing when the live session is starting. So yeah, for US 30, I'm not sure if we are going to get a retracement, but let's just see if we do get that for US 30. This gold zone is a bit too large. Let's see. Let's look at the momentum entries on the higher time frames. So gold, no momentum, all this momentum buys, and I've been forgetting to look at this over the last 2 days because there was some nice entries right here on the 4 hour. So 4 hour, no valid momentum buy. This buys right here. This one was a valid momentum buy, and this one was invalid because it was the lowest candle. But you can see all these buys would have gone straight to full TP. I think other than this one would have gotten stopped out if you caught the low of the candle. Yeah, that one would have gotten stopped out. This one would have gone straight to full TP. So there's on the 4 hour, no valid momentum buy, no valid momentum sell so far. On the 1 hour for gold, no valid momentum buy, no valid momentum sell. Then we move to US 30. For US 30, no valid momentum buy and no valid momentum sell right here. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, this was a valid momentum buy, and you can see price went up from that zone. When price retraced to that zone, this would have gone nicely to full TP right there. No valid momentum sell because we didn't have any SAR rejection from there. And then for EU, this was a valid momentum buy on the 4 hour, would have gone nicely into full TP, I believe, if you'd have waited for price to retrace to the low of the candle. Yeah, that was a nice, would have gone to full TP. No valid momentum sells. I'm just seeing them now. I forgot to look. I normally forget to look for momentum entries on higher time frames. This is an invalid momentum sell. There was no rejection off of an SAR. This momentum buy is invalid. So yeah, so nothing for now. Let's look at what we have. So for US 30, so this person, the person who would have taken this trade upon validation, they would have been at break even right now because they started off in drawdown, came back down, and then this candle would have given them a 1:1. So at this point, we go ahead and delete this trade. So no need to wait for this trade setup again. If US 30 comes back up here, you'd have to wait for a new trade setup. So that just, takes FOMO out of the picture because we already know anybody who had taken that sell, regardless of being overextended, actually they would have just been taken out at break even right now. So no need to FOMO. Let's wait on a new trade setup. We do have a break continuation entry here. We do have a break continuation entry here based off of this zone, this SAR zone that's right here. Of course, the red flag is overextension again. If if anybody has any confluences for a sell, this is a sell on US 30, but I'm not taking it because I'm trading it based off of this zone that's right here. So again, I look at this zone and see, okay, which is the most optimal entry at this point. The most optimal entry is US 30 to come back here and do something like this. And then I need to know anybody who's in this trade currently, where would they be at break even? So I do that. I do my 50 pip markup. That's almost here. So I would want for US30 to come and fill me into the trade first before giving this person a 1:1 risk to reward. So this is a break and continuation. Sell, that's right there. So it already validated, remove the word possible from it. And then we wait and see what happens here. Okay, on the 30-minute time frame, we were looking for a test and rejection. So this did validate. So this is no longer possible. So it's an outright test and rejection. So what we would want to see, we would want to see US30 come up here and enter at around 38,694. So to me, the 30-minute setup is better than the 15-minute because you can see the 30-minute entry is at 38,694. The 15-minute entry is at 38,650 region. So for me, I would rather take the 30-minute US30 sell rather than the 15-minute sell because the stop loss of the 15-minute sell is around the entry of the 30-minute sell. So looking at both of these trades, the 30-minute trade setup is the most optimal trade setup. So personally, I will wait to enter the 30-minute trade setup. See, gold, of course, there was nothing, and EU, there was nothing. EU, there was nothing as well. So US30 here, so same thing. So this is no longer possible. So this is an outright break and continuation entry. So I go ahead and delete the possible, and then I wait for price to come back to me. So here, US30, 15-minute entry, sure. If you have a confluence for it, you would have almost gotten tapped in. But for me, I would rather take the 30-minute entry on the hourly time frame. Here, trade validated. This is a break and continuation. Trade would have validated down here, but of course, it's not a trade I would have taken because the red flag is overextension. So you wait for price to retrace to your zone, the SAR zone you're trading. And then here, you do your markup in order to know anybody who entered this trade, regardless of overextension, where would they have achieved a 1:1 risk to reward, so that if price gets to this area first, before filling you in, you go ahead and forget about the trade and you wait for a new trade setup. Gold, same thing. Gold has validated. This is a break and continuation. So remove the word possible here. So it's an outright break and continuation entry. So here, what we then do, of course, trade validated down here. What's the red flag? Red flag is overextension. So I'm not taking that trade upon closure of that candle because my stop loss, for me to take this trade, my stop loss would have to be above this SAR region. And for me, I do static stop losses. So I'm not willing to extend my stop loss, and I'm fine with that, with not taking a trade for the day instead of forcing a trade. But also, since this is a nice trade setup, I'm interested to see where would somebody who doesn't care about overextension achieve a 1:1 risk to reward, so that if price gets to them first before coming to me, then I forget about the trade. I wait for a brand new trade setup. EU, same thing. So EU, the break and continuation thing, you can see EU is coming back to our zone right here. So, so it's no longer possible break and continuation. It's an outright. And this is on the hourly time frame. Let me see, break continuation. Yeah, so it's an outright break and continuation. So waiting on EU to come back up as well so that I can sell EU around this zone. And when I turned on the zones indicator, we have a bunch of, exactly, that's what I want to see. I want to see my entry, where my entry is, having a bunch of sellers. Sure, you can enter here, but as much as we have sellers here, it's not as concentrated as where our entry or where my entry would be. So that's exactly what I want. So this US30, I'm not going to take the 15-minute setup. So technically, if I was looking to take the 15-minute setup, I would be selling US30 now because it just tapped my zone of interest. But for me, between the 15-minute to my left and 30-minute to my left, which is the most optimal entry, the 30-minute to me is more optimal than the 15-minute. So I'm not taking this. So anybody who's in this trade will see You would have been in the trade or almost in the trade. But if anybody has any confluences for that, feel free to take it. But it's not a trade I will be taking or counting. But I can tell you US 30 on the 15-minute time frame, heavily bearish. 30-minute time frame, heavily bearish. There's a new tool I'm testing out to tell the trends in the market. It's separate from anything I have out there. So that's why I'm looking at this other side of my screen. Gold on the 15-minute time frame, heavily bearish. 30-minute time frame, heavily bearish. EU is starting to become bullish, which is what I like because I know that I'm looking to take this sell up here on EU. So EU is starting to become, EU is pretty bearish on 15-minute, pretty bearish on 30-minute. However, we are seeing some nice bullish momentum with EU. So which is what I want to see so that I can come and take this sell right here on EU. So today we have trade setups for all three instruments. I have to drop off the live session in about 2 or 3 minutes because I'm meeting somebody else for a one-on-one consultation. But we have all these trade setups. I will just take a screenshot of all this and post them in the Discord as trade ideas so that if anybody wants to take any of them, feel free. If you guys have any additional confluences for them. Here, this is trade ideas. That's US 30. Gold, there was nothing on 15-minute, 30-minute. EU, nothing on the 15 and 30-minute. So we have trade setups for US 30, gold, and EU on the hourly time frame. So today is just a day of picking and choosing. And knowing that it's a Friday, I'm also not pushing anything, but I'm still probably still going to take my 2 trades for the day. If anybody does take these trades, if I do take it as an official trade, I'll send it out in the Discord. Normally nothing more than 0.75% risk per trade for you guys. Personally, I risk 1% per trade nowadays. So whether it's on, and this is on a live account, so I'm not of the opinion that you necessarily have to reduce your risk once you start trading a live account. Because for me, I saw that as messing with my psychology. But for you guys, if it does, and I think I normally don't check YouTube comments, but I think I'm live on YouTube. But if anybody feels that once they get a live account that you feel the need to reduce your risk, feel free. Personally, I don't think there's a need for that. But if it helps your trading psychology to reduce that on live accounts, feel free to do so. Also, I am yet to make it official, but I will be suspending the challenge passing fee for Next Step Funded. So yesterday I completed the 5 free accounts that I'd promised you guys. So when I started this community, my community is not about passing challenges. That's not my business. That's not the business I'm in. So I will be making an announcement soon, but soon I will be suspending this step 3 for Next Step Funded. This year, I want people to be more accountable. I want to see more journaling from people. I want to see more payouts from people. Because one thing that, I mean, it's as much as demo is good for practicing, you don't want to stick to demo trading for like 3 years, for 4 years. You want to start getting funded. You want to start feeling what having a live account is. And also one thing, and this also came from a consultation one-on-one I was having with one of our members yesterday. I told them that this year I'm not doing any challenges. I'm not the traditional challenges, FTMO, and especially like FTMO, like right now, if I lose my FTMO, I can't get another FTMO account because they banned US residents from further FTMO challenges. So I'm done doing the traditional challenges because you end up making the prop firm money. So for example, with like 100K account, you end up making, if you're lucky or if you're good enough to pass phase 1 and phase 2, you end up making 15 grand. And at the end of having your live account, maybe the market dynamics have changed and you start maybe either fumbling your live account, etc. So for me, and my commitment is I want you guys to have more live accounts, more journaling and more payouts. That's what I want to see. So that's why I will be suspending passing. And for me, I've already gotten paid with Next Step Funded, and that's why I'm also an affiliate with them. So and because I do know the pain of trying or paying people like thousands of dollars to pass your challenges, and some of these challenge passing services are for high frequency trading. I'm able to do high frequency trading passing. So and if it's for you guys, I'll be for the near future, for the foreseeable future, I'll be suspending any payments to me. So you'll just have to be paying or buying your challenge and then giving me your credentials. And then I think it's the 5 accounts I passed the other day took like a week for phase 1 and phase 2. And again, see this 15-minute trade. This is why I did not want to enter this 15-minute trade setup. But anyway, I have to drop off. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in the Discord. Also for gold here, right? You want to be careful as well here for this gold trade as well, because you can see the volatility that's coming into the market. So I'm not in any of these trades yet. I'll be looking to take this US30 trade. But anyway, I will catch you guys next week. Happy trading, happy weekend. Feel free to reach out to me in the Discord if you need anything. All right, guys, peace.